How's it going, everybody? I just wanted to do a video to sort of consolidate all of the last posts I've been making over these few months, just to sort of get most of the information in one video. It's just been learned slowly, so it's been I've just been putting it out there as soon as I had the information, but I'll do a little bit of a quick overview. So this is my machine. It's a magnetic rotary machine. There's a motor in here, and you have the speed adjustment is done with your power unit. You have a stroke adjustment here on the armature bar, and you have a magnet system back here which allows you to adjust how hard it hits. So the speed is really simple, just up and down with your volts. The stroke, the easiest way to change it is just pull it down to hold it in place, pop the screw, and then twist the set screw either way, however you want to set it, and just tighten it back down. It's really simple to do. It's easy to do while you're tattooing. You don't need any tools. It's easy to do wearing gloves. So you have your speed and your stroke adjustment there. How hard it's hitting is depending on these magnets here. These are neodymium magnets. I send out 4 different sizes: 2 millimeter, 3, 4, and 5 millimeter. So basically, the bigger the magnet, the harder it's going to hit. If you're going to be doing, let's say, a type 3 or a single needle, put the small magnet on there. There's also a small groove in here that holds the magnet with a magnet in it, so you can just get it close and it just finds its way in there. Let's say, for instance, you were going to do a small line. I would put the small magnet on. When you're using the smaller magnets, you have to have a little bit of a shorter stroke just so that it has enough time to actually hit. And then just set it down like that. I designed the machines to hit like a coil. I like working with coil machines, and I like the way they have a sharper hit. So I tried to mimic this with this machine, but have the consistency of a rotary, and also the ease of tuning. So you have a full range. You can slow it down all the way, you could speed it up, you could change your stroke, you could change your hit, all independently, so you can combine them however you like. So let's say, let me hook this up. You can actually kill the machine too, like a coil machine. Just hold the armature bar down in front, so if you're cleaning your needle or you're changing colors or whatever, you could just hold it down, let it go, and there it goes. Yeah, so you just speed it up with your power unit. Let's slow it down. If you want to slow it down really slow and do stipple work, you can get down basically to nothing. If you were going to be doing that, though, I would probably put a big magnet on there just to have it hit really hard, although it's still going slower. So yeah, it hits the top of the frame, it slaps like a coil, it sounds like a coil, it gives like a coil, but the tuning is really stable and really logical. So your 3 important parameters you can change independently, so that allows you to have a lot of different combinations. Some of the other things that have been learned recently is to make it run silently, to put a piece of either a rubber band here, so that it's hitting the top of the rubber band, or you can use like a small rubber bumper, like a sticker, or put a piece of tape there, depending on what you want and what you have available. I kind of prefer like rubber bands just because they're easily available and they're cheap, and you could throw them away, keep everything clean after the tattooing. I don't actually prefer running my machines like this, but I know some guys do like it like that. So there you go. Same machines, just now running quietly. So I don't know, for whatever type of work you would need that for, it's probably mostly a preference issue. I do prefer the sharper hit of the metal on metal hit, but like I said, that's nice to be able to do that. The other major thing is running cartridges. The trick with the cartridges is you have to counteract the tension of the cartridge itself. So by putting rubber bands around the top of the armature bar, it helps it push it down and get rid of that tension. Normally I would put on the biggest magnet or the size, maybe the one smaller, depending on the brand of the cartridge. If it's a really stiff cartridge, you might have to use the bigger magnet. One thing that's nice though is when using these rubber bands like this is that you could put in the cartridge, and as you're switching through cartridges, like from a big liner to a small liner, instead of having to flip out the magnet, you can just adjust the position of these rubber bands to sort of change the way, how hard it's hitting. So if you want it a bit harder, the farther forward it's gonna be, the harder it's gonna hit. And if you want it to hit softer a little bit, just adjust them back just a little bit. So it makes it really easy to change the hit also on the fly as you're tattooing with cartridges. One thing I've heard about the cartridges is that depending on the brand, you can't run a really long stroke. So you might have to go to like a medium-sized stroke, but that's really easy to adjust and quick, so you can dial it in really fast. Yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. They are clip cord setup, but the screws are really easy to access and they're insulated from the frame. So if you wanted to put on an RCA kit, they're really easy to get to, and you could just hook up your RCA adapter here to these binding posts and it should be good to go. Also too, some guys like to flip their binding posts around the back. It's pretty easy, just take that screw out and flip it around. I would make sure you just leave the washer where it is. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I designed it asymmetrical as well, so if you are left-handed, I could flip this clip cord over to the left side, or depending on how you like to tattoo, some guys like to wrap their arm around, or wrap their clip cord around their arm. So depending on how they want to tattoo, it could be either or. Yeah, other than that, let's see, the vise. I designed it with the cullet just because I like to be able to use any style tube and not have it twist inside the vise here. I made it so that it actually bites the tube a little bit if you're using plastic tubes, so you don't have to crush them. You can just tighten it up just enough to get it to hold, and you're good to go. I have these for sale, so if you're interested, just write me a direct message. I am helping everyone out right now with shipping. I'm probably going to be doing it until the end of June, depending on how things go. But I'll cover everybody's shipping right now. I'll send it priority. So it usually gets there, like I've been sending a lot to America lately, and it takes about maybe 4 to 5 days. It gets there pretty quick. All right. Yeah, just let me know what you think. And if you have any more questions or whatever, just send me a direct message and I'll be getting back to you as soon as possible. Thanks and take care. Bye-bye.